Every year, I have hopes and dreams that certain specialty Gundams that I like will be released for the first time as a kit, and at the same time, certain kits that have been released, I hope they have a re-release, or I should say, a revived version. And what I mean by that is a revamped version of a kit that was already released. Now in 2025, we had a couple of good ones, whether it's the Real Grade Wing Zero, the Shiny Gundam Real Grade, which is a great kit by the way, or even the Gundam G7, which is my favorite variant of the original Gundam. Now, even though last year was an okay year, and in past years, there's been a lot of kits that I never thought would ever be released, it gets me excited for the future, and that's why I made this video to let you know about the top 10 kits I would like to see be released or revived this year in 2026. So I have a couple of rules to this list, and I want to mention them right now. First, all revamped kits must have had a release before 2015. Anything 2015 and after, I will not put them on this list as a kit I would like to be revamped. Every revamped kit has been released before 2015. Second, any kits mentioned that is not a revive or revamp has never been released whatsoever from my knowledge. Lastly, the revamp rule does not apply if I want a specific kit in a different grade. So, for example, let's just say I want a Death Side Hell Real Grade. Even though a Death Side Hell did come out in 2025, that is a high grade. But we don't have a real grade version of that. So it is okay to put the Death Side Hell Real Grade on this list. Now, with the rules being set and this section being a lot longer than what I want it to be, let's not waste time and let's go ahead and go into the top 10 list. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. I'm also going to let you know as we go down this list that if I feel like this kit is going to either be a standard release or a P-Bondi release. Now, with that being said, now let's get to the list. This first kit that I'm bringing up, the original one probably will have to have a revamped before I get the variant that I like. So just by saying that alone should let you know that this will probably be a P-Bondi kit. But the one I would like to see is a high grade EXS Gundam revamped red color version or the Deep Striker color scheme. Now, there is a master grade variant of this, but that one is a whole lot of kit and it's a lot more than what I'm looking for, which again, you can see on the screen right here. But the one I want is just the regular ESS Gundam, but just with that color scheme. And the reason why I say the original one has to be revamped first is because the last time the original version of this kit came out, it was in 2002. So I think it's time for an upgrade variant of this one. Although we'll also have to go through the original S Gundam first. Number 9, from my understanding, has never been released as a high grade. It has been released as a 1/144 scale, but never actually at the high grade. And that is the Gundam Spiegel or the Shadow Gundam in America. And this is one of the few Gundams out of G Gundam that I actually like for the Gundam that it is, and not has to deal more with appreciation. Now, from the releases that has been happening lately, this Gundam seems like it will be released one day as a P-Bondi, but I hope it comes sooner than later. I mention this Gundam every time I do this list, and the one I'm bringing up once again is the Real Grade Victory 2 Assault Buster Gundam. Now, I'll be cool with the Victory 2 Gundam, but I would rather get it with all the add-ons. And that's because the Victory 2 Gundam is one of my favorite Gundam designs of all time. And with how real grades are designed today, with even little new hidden gimmicks that wasn't in the original, I would love to see what they do and what they add on to make the Victory 2 Gundam stand out more than what it is currently. This one I changed up to go to the version that I prefer, and that is the real grade Gundam X Divider. Now, I want to say it's been about 2 years, but what gives me hope for this one is because there was a picture that came out online showing that one of the Gundams that are in the work was a Gundam X real grade. Now, I don't know how true that was because that came out as a leak, but it hasn't came out yet. But there's something else that gives me hope, and that is this year, it's the 30th anniversary of Gundam X, so there's a high chance that we will get the Gundam X real grade. And if we get the Gundam X real grade, I definitely believe that they'll probably come out with the Gundam X Divider real grade, which I hope to pick up. Now, do I think this will be a P Bondi? In my opinion, no. And I hope I'm right. Because I believe if they are going to do a P Bondi version of the Gundam X, I believe it's going to be a real grade variant of the Gundam X from the Build series. Now, one of my favorite Gundams that absolutely needs to be revived, that is the Gundam Delta Kai. I've said it multiple times on this channel, I love the design of this Gundam, but the kit quality itself is probably one of the worst kits I've ever put together that I own. Again, I love the design of the Delta Kai, and I would love for them to revive it because I think it would be a great kit to revive as a high grade. I prefer a real grade, but I highly doubt they're going to do a real grade of this one. But the other thing I will say is, I believe if they do come back to this one and revive it, it will probably be a P Bondi, which sucks. Now, back to another kit that absolutely needs a revamp and a revise. And I think everybody will agree with this one, even though I haven't built this one, even though I do have a P Bondi variant of it in my closet right now. This one, you could go online and you can hear the horror stories. And that is the Zeta Gundam Real Grade 2.0. We need a 2.0 because the first one was a disaster. Now again, I haven't built the one I have, but from my understanding, this is the worst real grade kit on the market today. And I am dreading the day I decide to build this one because I heard this thing is terrible. So if there's one real grade that absolutely needs to be revamped more than any kit that I mentioned, or I think anybody mentions, it has to be the Zeta Gundam. We need a Zeta Gundam 2.0 because the first one I heard was a disaster. So I would love for them to get another crack at it because with how real grades are now and the improvements, I absolutely believe that they can finally do a really good transforming real grade kit. Now, I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon because again, I don't see that being done easily, but I would love to have a Zeta Gundam 2.0 real grade that can actually transform properly without it basically pissing everybody off who talks about this kit. And I'm sure one day in the future, I'm not saying anytime soon, but I will have my opportunity and have my crack at building this kit myself. I'm just going to tell you like this, pay attention to that community tab over there on YouTube, and one day it'll probably come back up again. And that day, I'm probably gonna dread it. Next one on my list, and I feel like with every passing year, And with now the G-Unit Gundams coming out, we're getting closer and closer to this Gundam actually coming out. It will be a P Bandai, which sucks, but the one on my list is the Hydra Gundam. My fault. High grade Hydra Gundam. Let me make sure I get the grade in there. Now, there has been one that has came out all the way back in 97, and I'm kind of ready for a revamp of this kit to finally come out. Again, they did a great job with the Gundam Gymnast. They did a great job with the Gundam Elo Booster outside of the legs. The feet wasn't really the best to me, but again, as time keeps passing by, we're getting closer to finally getting the Hydra Gundam revamped. And when it does, that's absolutely one of my targets. I personally believe that the Hydra Gundam will be coming out within the next 2 years. And whether it's this year or next year, we will be getting the Hydra Gundam sooner than later, and I can't wait. My only worry is I'm going to run into another Gundam Ghost situation when it does get announced, and when it does come out, I won't have the funds to get it. And that's the one thing that worries me. But yes, Hydra Gundam, I truly do believe it's going to be coming out either this year or next year as a P Bandai. Next one on my list will be the high grade RX-105 Seed Gundam. The GFF variant specifically, which would be a P Bandai, because we already have the Seed Gundam, but I want the one from the manga. I just always like that color scheme a lot better. I wish that was the color scheme of this kit. Instead, we got the white one, which from my understanding, that was the actual original look of this kit. So, well, I mean, I should say the original color scheme. I'm not sure if it was the original look, but that was the original color scheme until they updated it in the manga and in the games. And that's the variant I would love to get, but it would probably be a P Bandai. But if that one ever comes out, that is the Seed Gundam that I would want to get. Number 2 has actually been put on display, but has never actually been released. And it's kind of annoying because I've been asking about this every year. I'm still going to keep asking about it every year. And that is the real grade Hot Scramble Gundam, which would definitely be a P Bandai. And it is getting annoying because we've already seen it, at least I've got to see pictures of it being on display. So I know that they actually have worked on it, but for some reason they don't want to release it, and it is annoying because I've been looking forward to this Gundam for years and they never actually brought it out. So if there's one Gundam I want them to actually release, is the Hot Scramble Gundam. Number 1 on my list, which they already announced the master grade of it, and it's kind of way overdue for the high grade to be revived or revamped, which should have been years ago. And I'm talking about the base form because this version did not come out as a high grade. And that is the real grade full armor Double Zeta Gundam. I've always wanted this kit to come out. Now again, the master grade has been announced and it is coming out this year, which is annoying because that pretty much means most likely there will not be a real grade coming out at all anytime soon. I highly doubt that they're working on a real grade. Heck, like I said, they still gotta do a revamp of the high grade. So it's probably gonna be a very long time before we get a real grade full armor Double Zeta Gundam. And that's the thing, remember, I'm asking for the full armor version, not even for the regular one, the full armor. So it's gonna be even longer than that. So it is kind of annoying because I don't see this kit coming out anytime soon. But all that means to me is that there's just one less kit I gotta worry about. Well, that's it for the top 10 Gundams I would like to see be revamped or released in general. But I want to mention it here because I think I messed up the rules a little bit, particularly when it comes to number 3, and I probably should have added in the rules. But if it's a different version or a different variant of the kit that's already been released, that's also allowed to be added on the list. So like I said, take number 3 on this list as a perfect example. Already been released as a high grade, but I just want a different variant of it. So that also works too. So I should have said that in the rules. My fault. I just want to mention that here. Now, with that being said, after this one, we got one more left. And the last video I'm going to go over is the kits that I built in 2025, which there's 12 kits that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. So make sure to come back for that. And if this is your first video on this channel, why don't you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button? Help us build this channel, help us grow this community, help us build this brand.